But first, the greatest sporting rivalry of all time. The greatest rivalry in sport was also one of the darkest. For decades, Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier continued a blood feud that began when they were powerful young men and ran on when neither man still could.
Joe Frazier's in trouble.
You know, he's crazy.
When you talk about the butterfly, you gotta think about the man who faced the butterfly, who took him down. Where that he was the guy saying that, Joe Frazier, if you knock me down.
If Joe Frazier whoops me,
I'll crawl across the ring on my knees.
I'm getting on my hands on my knees. Crawl across the ring.
And said, you are the greatest. He was trying to get to the hospital.
Joe Frazier still lives in Philadelphia, the city he made home at the start of his boxing career. His gym hosts a new generation of boxers from one of Philly's toughest neighborhoods. Born in brutal poverty in South Carolina himself, Frazier escaped north to fight for a new life.
I lived my life on the basis of being champion of the world. I wasn't gonna let nobody stop me. And he got in the way. I had to move it. Now spit it at him.
In the back office of Joe Frazier's gym hangs a photo that's close to his heart. It's a shot of Ali being knocked down in their first fight in 1971.
You know, it's something I've done a lot of men didn't do. Something I've done that the whole world can see.
To understand their rivalry, it pays to remember the racially divided America in which these two proud black men grew up.
I'm gonna whoop you like you ain't never been whooped. You wait. I'm gonna whoop you like you ain't never been whooped.
Ali's sharp tongue always gave him an edge in the pre-bout banter, but when he called Frazier an Uncle Tom, a black man who is subservient to whites, he went too far.
I'm gonna embarrass you for life. You want Uncle Tom? You want Uncle Tom?
Ali had an element of cruelty to him. There's been a bid to sanitize Ali. The movie, the Will Smith movie, Ali certainly did that, to make him almost this kind of demigod. And Ali could be a cruel bastard.
Ali had no real personal problem with Frazier, but knew he could get to his opponent verbally and took full advantage. By their third and final clash in Manila in 1975, his taunting had Joe smoking.
I'm going to do something to Joe Frazier that might be illegal. My lawyers told me to bring a bail bondsman to get me out of jail. They might put my tail in jail and get me out on bail after what I do to Joe Frazier.
Frazier was in peak shape. He hated Ali. And what Ali had done in this fight was he had taken the insults to a new level. I mean, not only was there the Uncle Tom stuff, not only was there portraying Frazier as being basically thick, but he produced a rubber gorilla, and he started knocking it like that. This is you the gorilla, this is the Thriller in Manila, and so on and so on.
That's all you're going to see. The Philippines, rather. Come on, gorilla, we in Manila.
And so Frazier's children were being called gorillas. Now, if you think of the image of somebody being portrayed as a gorilla, a proud black man like Joe Frazier, to him, it resonated.
When a man is nervous and like out of line, probably not comfortable with himself, he might say anything. He might just jump up and say anything crazy, you know what I mean? And that's him. And maybe if you had probably took his blood pressure when he was talking, he probably went up to about 160 over 200.
And you wait, all knees shall bow when I get the gorilla in Manila.
The pair were tied at one victory apiece when they arrived for their final showdown in Manila. It was a fight that had it all and nearly ended it all for both of them.
Manila was hot, humid, wild. I don't even know how we got there, but I guess the money was right. The money was right. That's probably why we were there.
I wanna smack somebody, try to run a big slap somebody, but I ain't going out, bro. I ain't giving in to it.
What a murderous fight. I was exhausted working the fight. It was hot. It was like under a tin roof. I don't know how Joe and Muhammad survived.
Knees to the ground. I don't fear none of my enemies, and I don't fear bullets from Uzis.
And the third fight was the best fight, I believe, in boxing history because they nearly killed each other. And they fought with such intensity under such adverse conditions.
The shots that I caught him with, man, that it would take down sides of this building.
Muhammad came back to the corner and he really flopped, you know, and I just went about my thing, you know, with the ice and everything, cooling him off. And after Muhammad made the crack himself, as the closer he felt to death in the corner.
Going into the last round, Frazier's eyes were closing up. Ali was just ahead on points, but both were exhausted.
Frazier was stumbling around. He couldn't see. And he was in a state of virtual collapse. But he wouldn't give up because of that hatred was still there. And he collapsed in his corner and he could barely see. And Eddie Futch said, enough, it's over, son. You fight another day. Because he was worried that if Ali came after that 15th round, Ali would kill him.
Ali had been close to collapse himself, and after Manila, neither man would be the same again.
Ali went to Manila as an is, but left as a was. Years later, I'm visiting him in Hancock Park, and I said to Ali, geez, let's watch the fight in Manila. He looked at me with vacant eyes. He said he would show me any fight that I wanted to see, but he said, not that fight. I don't want to look at hell again.
In 1989, the pair appeared together in London to promote a video with George Foreman, and Frazier was still the butt of Ali's jokes. Then in 1996, Ali lit the flame at the Atlanta Olympics. Most of the world looked on in awe.
He was a hero. The only dissenting voice being that of Joe Frazier, who said Ali should have fallen into the flame. The rest of us thought it was wonderful. And yet the rest of us knew what Joe was talking about.
We was fighting. We was at war. I mean, why should he speak all this terrible thing about me, and then I didn't say anything about him? So whatever came to my mind and my lips, I spit it out. And that's the way it is, but I didn't really hope anything happened to the guy, you know. I wish he lived a whole long life like all the other guys, you know what I mean? Throw it right there.
After more than 3 decades of feuding, in recent years, the bitterness felt by Frazier towards Ali seems to have cooled. It was once central to the greatest rivalry in sport, but now Smoke is both calmer and wiser.
We had some good wars. We had some good fights together, you know. It's all over. Now we got daughters and maybe sons fighting each other. So maybe we'll be able to see, let's say, Muhammad and Joe Frazier again, between the girls and boys.